Go!
I'm Mona Haydar, and this is my husband, Sebastian Robbins. We're on the road for 3 weeks to follow the Muslim thread woven through the fabric of our country.
The American story is the Muslim story.
There is a legendary Muslim here.
Look at that view.
Wow.
Now we are in the American West.
We're taking the Great Muslim American Road Trip.
A new documentary series on PBS features a Muslim American couple taking a cross-country journey along historic Route 66 to discover untold stories of America's Muslim roots. The Great Muslim American Road Trip features artist and activist Mona Haydar and her husband, Sebastian Robbins.
And both of them are joining us live. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us. So tell us, how did this idea come to fruition? Why did you decide on this road trip?
Yeah, it started very innocently, actually, with this idea that Mona and I could take kind of a second honeymoon and travel a part of the country we really knew nothing about. But what it blossomed into was actually something much more interesting than just the two of us arguing and eating potato chips and listening to music, where we encountered these amazing people starting in Chicago, actually at the Willis Tower on day one, and ending up in the Santa Monica Pier in Los Angeles. So the whole end of Route 66, and just incredible communities and individuals at every stop.
Can you talk about the Willis Tower, a little bit about the significance of why you started there?
Yeah, it was actually designed by a Muslim named Fazlur Khan, and we had no idea. We showed up at the Willis Tower kind of as just tourists, and lo and behold, Fazlur Khan, a Muslim American, designed this incredible building, which was the tallest building in the world for a really long time. I forget the exact statistics. You Chicagoans should know better than this Michigander. But it was just incredible to find out that a Muslim American built this structure. And, we learned little tidbits like that all along the way.
And we were there actually to meet with the daughter of Muhammad Ali, Maryam Ali. So it was just this amazing confluence of the past and the present and the future, all in this beautiful, amazing building.
So as you continued on this journey, how did you decide where to stop and where to start shooting, interviews?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, as travelers, you're kind of in this very vulnerable, open, and sometimes helpless situation, which can lead to these spontaneous encounters. So as Muslims, we're looking for places to pray 5 times during the day. So some of the stops were sort of by necessity. We would find a mosque, ask to pray there, and then
Google Maps was amazing.
Yeah, some of it was thanks to technology. And then as a result of that, we were invited to meals, we were invited to hear their stories. Some places we were a little bit more planned, and some, stopping at the Grand Canyon and other sort of more touristy spots were just kind of part of the road trip.
In 2015, you guys did the Ask a Muslim project, where you basically sat up a table and, if people had questions about being Muslim, they could come to you and you would answer their questions. I feel like with this, you're kind of reversing the roles. You're no longer the teacher, but now you kind of embrace the role of a student where you wanted to learn more. Was that a different feeling for you?
That's so funny. You really hit the nail on the head right there. We really felt like the roles were reversed. We did this project, Ask a Muslim, and people would come up to us and ask us all kinds of questions, not necessarily about being Muslim. And here we are a few years later, traveling the country, kind of taking it on the road, asking people questions. And so we ended up becoming the students, just like you said. And it was such a beautiful education to learn from not just like information, you can read little signposts and learn little statistics and data, but actually like hear people's lived stories and hear it straight from their mouths, straight from their hearts. For me, that was the most impactful thing.
Yeah, I mean, it really looks fascinating. Tell us about how you were able to get PBS to produce this here. Did you pitch it to the network, or did they approach you with the idea?
It was a mix of things, actually. It was a beautiful sort of collaborative concept between PBS and UPF, Unity Productions Foundation. And they had this beautiful concept of like, well, we're not actors. Sebastian and I are just kind of parents. I also make music and work as a chaplain, and he's an educator and farmer. They were like, what would it be like for people just to be exposed to real Muslims, not scripted, you know, also not a salacious like reality TV show, but also just like folks who are busy raising their 2 little boys and active in the world and trying to make this world a little bit more beautiful. And so, you know, it was a collaborative effort, and they reached out to us and we were like, heck yeah, we'll take a road trip.
Cool.
So what do you hope people take away from this after watching?
You know, I think one thing is just the incredible diversity of the Muslim experience in America. Most people don't know that the single largest group of Muslims in America is the African American Muslim community. It's a very overlooked fact, and Mariam Ali sort of embodied that at the beginning of our journey. I think the second thing is, you know, this cliche that you can't hate up close. And like some cliches, actually, it has some truth. And so by getting close to people, looking them in the eye, shaking their hand, taking a minute to hear their stories, you know, I really hope that viewers, through us as the sort of traveling students in this show, can really learn and get close to some of the people we met, and maybe soften some of those boundaries and barriers we carry around.
Mona and Sebastian, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You can check out the Great Muslim American Road Trip. That's on PBS. Go to pbs.org for more information. You can also follow Mona on social media.
Thank you so much,
guys.
We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having us. Have a great morning.
You bet.
You
You
as
too.
well. Hey, Mike.